Shalom. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that taught us His word. I just want to do a little video on that Amtrak derailment that took place last week, and how it's just another example of America's infrastructure and the failing infrastructure of America, which was prophesied in the scriptures about how its economy was going to tank, and bridges and railroads were all going to fail because of the lack of resources going into maintaining America's infrastructure, and how it's slowly corroding from the inside out. This article is from the NewYorkTimes.com, entitled "The Amtrak Derailment Was Caused by a Collective Failure." The Amtrak derailment near Tacoma, Washington, that killed 3 people last week may have well been partly the individual failure of an engineer who was going too fast, and also, however, yet another demonstration of the country's collective continuing failure to invest in infrastructure. Though their inquiries are not complete, investigators have determined that the train, which was going from Seattle to Portland, Oregon, was traveling at 78 miles per hour as it approached a turn that has a 30 miles per hour speed limit. The circumstances are eerily similar to the 2015 Amtrak crash near Philadelphia, in which 8 people were killed, where the train derailed as it sped through the sharp curve. In both cases, the trains were operating without the benefit of a system known as positive train control, which can automatically slow down or stop a train when human operators fail to do so. This technology is not something new. It's not some hot new thing. The National Transportation Safety Board has been recommending it for nearly half a century for various reasons, including bureaucratic inertia and penny pinching. Many railroads still don't have this functioning systems in place. So they have certain technologies which can prevent different accidents or whatever, but they refuse to put them in just so they can save a buck. So I think maybe like 3 people died. This could have been prevented if they had that positive train control technology. But that goes into how the crumbling of America, the infrastructure. The scripture I want to get is Isaiah 14:4. Thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Who's that golden city, or what's the golden city? That's America. And how has it ceased? The failing economically, the infrastructure and all that. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, none hindereth. And that's Most High bringing down America and Esau and his rule, going into all these other nations and taking their resources, the wars or whatever. The whole earth is at rest and quiet, and break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees at thee rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, thou art laid down, no fellers come up against us. Hell beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Thou shalt speak and say unto thee, thou hast become as weak as we. Art thou become like unto us? Because all these other nations, they have those nuclear missiles. When Esau goes down, because he's gonna be as weak as the other nations. Thy pomp is down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. The worms, that's That's the crumbling infrastructure. These worms, the deterioration of these railroads, the deterioration of the bridges, the automobiles, we saw this penny pinching and wanted to save a buck. Technology isn't as good as it can be. These cars, these American cars, they're not as good as they can be. All these different technologies that are produced in America, they're always breaking down. Certain techs that I use at my job, American made, and they're always breaking down, always getting some type of error. Those worms, that's the crumbling of America. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down the ground, which didn't weaken the nations, which didst weaken the nations? That Lucifer, Esau, just means the light bearer, one that's on top. Another article is out of CNBC.com. Engineers give America's infrastructure a near failing grade. America's infrastructure is close to failing. That's the assessment of the American Society of Civil Engineers, which released its 2017 infrastructure report card Thursday, giving the nation's overall infrastructure a grade of D+. I believe this article came out on March 9th, 2017. The report came a day after President Donald Trump held a high-profile meeting with a group of executives to discuss his campaign pledge to invest $1 trillion to upgrade the nation's critical infrastructure, such as highways, bridges, airports, and dams. $1 trillion to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to be able to update or upgrade, the whole nation's infrastructure for $1 trillion. Yeah, right. Details of any spending plan have yet to be released, and it remains to be seen how the Trump administration will pay for the proposed spending. His spending target, moreover, represents less than a quarter of what's needed to bring the condition of the U.S. infrastructure up to a level that would earn it a B grade, according to the ASCE estimates. Yeah, he said that's less than a quarter of what they would actually need. So, like overall grade point average, D. Aviation 2017 gave it a D. Bridges C+. Drinking water a D. Energy C+. Hazardous waste a D. Levees, ports C+. Rail, surprisingly they gave that a B, but tell that to the passengers of this train here. Roads D. Schools D. Solid waste C+. So to reach a comprehensive grade, the association said it valued 16 categories of infrastructure ranging from rail to schools to airports to dams. Its committee consists of civil engineers from across the country who assessed categories such as capacity, condition, funding, and public safety to assign grades across the 16 segments. So that's the infrastructure report card, D. So it's just another testament to America's failure, crumbling infrastructure, the worms, that covering me. So I just wanted to bring out those couple of articles. With that, shalom.